In this video, we'll discuss the newest feature in Slurpit, which is sites. So we've added sites in order to basically manage the networking devices better. And sites are basically, as the name applies, a collection of devices plus some fancy features. So from here, from devices, if I go to overview, that would be the devices section, the old devices section. Now we call this overview and it gives you the list of devices. But if you want to see the sites, you go to sites, and since I'm using the sandbox instance, you see now that we have two sites. If you want to create a site from scratch, you click on this button and you fill in these slots, and basically it will create your site. And if you do that, then you will create something similar to what we have here. We have two entries, Slurpit HQ and Cisco HQ. So I will open up one of them, Cisco HQ maybe. And as you can see, we have the address. And keep in mind that if the address is correct, it will automatically search for the latitude and longitude of the headquarters. So as you can see, this headquarters is in United States, and since we're using the Cisco DevNet sandbox devices, it shows the true address of the devices, or basically our site. So there is that. This is the summary section. And the second one is devices. It shows you how many devices are actually belong to this site. This is one of the main, actually, basically primary reason we use sites, to basically allocate devices to a particular site. And our old devices, are basically market devices, now belong to the Slurpit headquarters. This is devices, and if I go to site rules, and this is the section where you can create rules. So if I go back to devices, you're going to see that we have two devices here. But what if I want to automatically assign future devices, or basically future devices with certain parameters, to the Cisco HQ? And similarly, I want to automatically map future devices with certain parameters to the other sites that we have. So for example, if I go to site rules, this is the section I have to define this mapping. So here I click on this button, add, and I want to say the future devices that have Cisco in them, and I'm going to say host name. If the host name has the word or string Cisco in them, map it to the Cisco headquarters site. And you can also define some regex patterns. For example, one of the useful ones is I, which makes the pattern case insensitive. So that means if I have a host name with basically these letters, it will also consider it as a match. So I will type in Cisco, make it case insensitive, apply it to host name, and apply it to the Cisco headquarters. In order to make sure, we also added these test site rules, basically this tester, and I'm going to say host name, and I will say Cisco here, test it and see whether this device, this imaginary future device, is a fit for this site or not. So if I test it, it says selected site is Cisco headquarters. If I say something meaningless, then it says no rules were matched. I can also say Cisco XR. It is also a match. What about XR Cisco? Since we are using regex, if the word Cisco is inside the pattern, it is a match regardless of case sensitivity. There is that, and let me show you something else in summary. So this is the sitemap. You can also disable the sitemap if you want. So if I go to settings, from here I can say yes and disable the sitemap. Now let me show you how you can use this site feature using programmability. There are two options. The first option is API or REST API here from the site section. These are the operations belonging to sites. So I'm going to retrieve all sites. There is no parameter needed, so I can just try it out, execute, and I will get the 2 sites that I have. The next thing I want to show you is using our SDK. This is a function that is newly added to the SDK project. So I will go to terminal here. Here I will go to terminal, minimize this. So from here I have 2 scripts I want to show you. This one is actually more of a instruction to see our new functions. So I will open it with Vim. So we have some instructions here like the endpoint configuration, but one of the functions is test get sites, and I will go down. The next one is test save CSV, test update site, and there should be a couple more, get site, delete site, and so on. So this is more of a way to see what functions are available, what functions are newly added. I will quit and open up the other script that I have. So this one will connect to the sandbox, to the same instance we're working on, and we're going to get the sites and print the JSON output in a readable format, and we'll get the number of sites that we have. So I will exit, I will execute this Python file. I have to activate the virtual environment, run it one more time, and there we go. This is the way that you can retrieve the sites using the SDK.